And good morning, everybody. Welcome, Hot Takes Goodman and Haertl. Bruce, how was your weekend?
Busy. I'm sure yours was as well. But not too many idle moments, but here we are on the other side on a Monday getting after it. And really 3 weeks now, inside of 3 weeks to the opening kickoff. And I think that we're kind of there now mentally, even if we're not there physically yet. I'm ready to see this football team start to play some games that matter.
And with the football season getting ready to go, the only place to watch this upcoming season, Saturday and Sunday, College and Pro, Sportsbook Bar and Grill. You can find them in the DTC, Highlands Ranch, coming soon to Parker. Great place to watch your favorite teams, outstanding food. You're going to love their menus. Wings with so many sauces to count, too many burgers to count as well. Great appetizers. And on Broncos Sunday, you can win a Broncos jersey every Broncos regular season game in either location. Plus, the Sportsbook has Coors Light, and other great drink specials. They're going to have ticket giveaways as well. Brunch Saturday, Sunday begins at 9 o'clock in the morning. College football, if you're an Iowa fan, you got to go over to their DTC location. If you love Ohio State, they're a watch bar for Ohio State at their location in Highlands Ranch. Also a great place to watch CU and CSU. Head on over to the place where a bunch of sports fans put together a sports bar. And if you walked in there, you'd say, you know what? I would design it this way myself. The Sportsbook Bar and Grill, DTC, Highlands Ranch, and coming soon to Parker. Time now for the lead.
The Lead is presented by Sasquatch Casino, a family-owned casino that treats you like family.
The Broncos dominate their second preseason game. That last one was on Saturday. They outscored San Francisco and Arizona 57-16. Final scores, as we know, Bruce, do not matter. So what, if anything, can you take from these lopsided margins?
I think for me, the overriding theme of the preseason is the depth that the Broncos are exhibiting.
Yeah.
If there's one takeaway, that would be it. How good their depth is at this particular point. They are going to cut players that are going to end up on other rosters. I don't think that's been something that we've worried about a great deal. Sean Payton has been able to basically cut the guys he wanted and then pull them back in on the practice squad. I don't think this year that he'll have that luxury. The Broncos are deeper. They're more talented with their depth. And it's a great thing. And it's a remarkable thing considering that they're still paying off the $32 million that they've got to pay to Russell Wilson to get out from underneath that contract. They have hit on guys here in the last 2 years far more than they've swung and missed.
Right.
And it's starting to show up. To what level it shows up will be seen over the course of the next 5.5, 6 months. But right now, their depth, to me, is the big story of the preseason.
An award should never be a lifetime achievement award. It should be what you did that season. So I'm going to fudge it a little bit over the last 2 seasons. If the Broncos make the playoffs this year, literally hand the Executive of the Year award to George Payton. It would not go to Sean Payton. He's a coach. So, you give it to your general manager. But the Broncos should win that award as a team if they make the playoffs this year because of what they've done in rebuilding this roster over the last 2 years. And if they make the playoffs this year, it'll be back-to-back. Because to your point, with this Russell Wilson deal, It has been nothing short of remarkable.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And so it's a great storyline to have heading into the season. Now, we've got 3 weeks. We got one more little exhibition on Saturday morning in New Orleans. You hope everyone gets through it healthy. You'd like that first offense to have a couple of good moments, right? Just at least to feel good about things going into the next 2 weeks beyond. Cut down day is a week from Tuesday, a week from tomorrow. And then it's on to the regular season. I think this team is going to be a good team. I don't know if it can be a great team. That remains to be seen. You got to be careful about making that leap. There's only usually, Eric, 4 teams or so around the league that can probably honestly be called great. Even those teams, it takes a little while to really, for all of us to identify them. And so it will be again this year. But I think that the Broncos are certainly going to be a good football team. Can they be very good? Can they be great? Remains to be seen. But you got to be good before you can be the next.
Deion Sanders coined the phrase, "we comin'." Sean Payton on Saturday night took a page out of that same book, not using the same words, talking about Troy Franklin. He's here. It's exciting.
It's happening.
Yes. And he is here, and it is exciting. Continues to dazzle in training camp and also preseason games. They're using him to see what they have. And everybody is seeing Troy Franklin out there and Sean Payton's new toy on offense. For Troy, 4 catches, 67 yards, 2 touchdowns. But maybe the most impressive thing was that block for Evan Engram on that 56-yard catch and run. Pat Bryant also threw a great block on that play. And, oh, by the way, caught 4 passes for 70 yards. Do you think either guy has earned the right to move up the depth chart to replace 3 guys who didn't play, who are the presumptive top 3 wide receivers in that room, talking about Cortland, Mims, and Vele?
Well, the pecking order isn't as important, and I know it's not to you either, isn't as important to me as to how these guys will be used and when they'll be used. What kind
snaps? It's about snaps. How often are you on that field?
Yep, and where they get them and when they get them. Here's the thing about Troy Franklin, and if people paid attention, they saw 2 very different catches for his touchdowns. The first one was basically, even for a receiver, a little sideline wheel that he basically just beat the coverage on with his speed. The second one was a contested ball, 1-on-1. Two catches that were at totally different ends of the spectrum in terms of creating separation to make a play. The first one, his speed, his feet did the work, and Stidham threw a really nice ball for a touchdown. The second one, Stiddy basically put it up there for the 2 guys to battle, and in the air, Troy Franklin was able to create space to come down with the ball. I just think that Troy Franklin, and we've been raving about him for a couple of weeks, and I hope that people are starting to say, yeah, I can see the possibilities for this guy.
Right.
He just continues to impress. He's impressing in the same way, Eric, that last year he was like, you almost felt sorry for him. And you would sit there day after day watching him, and we'd look at each other almost chuckling, unfortunately at his expense, because Johnny Morton, basically, who is now the offensive coordinator up in Minnesota, I think he's in Minnesota, right? So was just in his grill every minute. Yep. And you can see why now. First of all, the player could handle it.
That's a really important point.
Yes.
And don't brush over that.
Right.
Because he showed the mental toughness to take it and then take off with it.
Yeah, no question. He showed up at camp, a bigger, stronger version of himself, hasn't lost a step, is all of a sudden now more physical. He's much more comfortable with the route trees, which are, especially for young players, are a challenge. In college football is great, and we all love it, but it's nothing like the NFL. You get covered in the NFL all the way across the field. Guys are in your vicinity. Quarterbacks have to put it into tighter places, and receivers have got to make more contested catches. It's just the way it is. The game is much more physical because it's much faster at the NFL level. And he has made the adjustments and has had the growth now to be a real factor for this team moving forward. If there has to be a pecking order, I would say right now that he's clearly in the top 3 with Courtland Sutton and Evan Engram, who really flashed, at least in the one target that he had. And that was kind of fun to see because our imagination is taken care of because we can actually see it. And Sean Payton, by the way, called his shot, said he wanted to get a really good rep for Evan Engram, and he got it. So I think that room, because you mentioned Pat Bryant, he's done nothing to make you think that he's going to be a kind of he's not a forgotten part of this equation. No. This guy's going to play, and this guy's going to play in important play. He's going to play in what we call high leverage situations. There's no question.
Well, then who are you taking off the field?
That's a great question. I think it depends on formation, down and distance, and what you want to do on that particular set. Sean Payton has options.
Okay, rank right now the wide receivers. And feel free to include. Do you want to include Engram in that?
Yes, I think I probably would.
As a pass catcher, wide receiver.
I think let's start it with pass catcher. I think he's a pass catcher.
Okay, so rank him. Make it quick.
I'm going to go Sutton, Engram, based on what I think they're going to do with the offense. Sutton,
what would you do?
Sutton, Engram, Franklin, Mims, Bryant. But the separation between them would be almost insignificant.
Broncos fans are similar to Little League parents in this sense, Little League baseball parents. Let's go back to last year. We're all Little League baseball parents, and we're watching our, for lack of a better phrase, right fielder be our son. And you're thinking every time somebody's at the plate, please don't hit it to right field, because somehow, some way, our child is going to bobble the ball. It's going to go right through his legs. Now, we are thrilled that our Little League son has been moved to left field. And you're thinking, hit it to him all day.
Sure. Absolutely. It's a great way to say it. And I'll add one more to it. They're good enough now that even the right fielder is still pretty good. Their outfield is solid. So if you want to equate that to their receiving core, we all look, when you're with the team every single day, you got to be really careful about overstretching what you think a particular room is going to. You got to be really honest with yourself every single day. You got to watch what they're doing, and you can't just think, well, they're going to be great because you see them every day.
Let me just sum it up for you, Bruce.
Sure.
Let me just sum it up for you with one quick question. I think it is fair to say there are very few teams in this league. And oh, by the way, because you included Evan Engram in your pass catching ranking, you have put who at the bottom? Pat Bryant, and who else? Mims?
Pat Bryant at 5 and Mims at 4, if we had to rank them.
Okay. Well, no, 5 and 6, because you included Engram.
Yeah.
Right. So 5 or 6. So most teams would panic if they had to start their 5th and 6th wide receivers. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it wouldn't be. Yeah, it's not optimum, right?
How would you feel if the Broncos started Mims and Bryant in the opener?
Yeah, I mean, they're good receivers. That
you feel okay about it?
Sure,
you feel pretty good about it?
Yeah.
Yes. And that's my point exactly.
Yeah.
You're feeling good about starting 5 and 6. Who in the league, maybe in the history of the league, has been comfortable starting their 5th option and their 6th option in Mims and Bryant? And oh, by the way, Mims didn't play on Saturday. That tells me, with the way that Payton is thinking, at least going into the game, Franklin is 5, and Bryant is 6.
Yeah.
Because the top 3 guys didn't play, and I'm taking Engram out of it. I'm only talking about guys who have WR next to their names.
Yeah, right. And of course, Vele's in that mix as well. And if I didn't mention him, shame on me. But yes, they're deep, they're talented, they need to stay healthy, but they've got. If you had some questions about how it was going to look, at least going in, and you're counting on everybody being healthy, you feel really good about the depth of that room, and you feel really good about the latitude that it gives Sean Payton in calling the offense and using different looks, formations, motions, all of the things that can make them a better, more complex, difficult offense to deal with for an opposing team. I think the Tennessee Titans are going to have I think they're going to have their hands full on the opener. I really do. I think the Broncos are going to come out of the gate, and all of a sudden, I think that this offense has a potential to look really good really quickly.
Well, remember, Tennessee's defense was pretty good last year.
Yeah.
It's the Broncos defense that should wreak havoc all over a rookie quarterback. Speaking of quarterbacks, Jarrett Stidham, he's been terrific during training camp. Both preseason games, 30 of 38 for 376 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. With that, we talked about the depth of the wide receiver room. How would you feel today? And today is today, obviously. How would you feel right now if I told you Jarrett Stidham is going to start 6 games this year because of injury to Bo Nix? Do you have enough confidence in what you've seen in Stidham to hold the fort for 6 games?
Yeah.
Not 2 games. Usually if you're backup, you don't want him playing any more than 2 or 3. What about 6? Has he shown you enough that you're like, he's not Bo Nix, and I get it, but we have a strong defense. We have pieces around Nix and Stidham, okay? We have a pretty good offensive line. Can this guy hold the fort for more than 2 to 3 games?
Yeah, I guess I would have to know what stretch of the season they were playing, but I think the answer is a somewhat still for me cautious yes. He is moving so much better, and his which he talked about on Saturday afterwards. He made it a point with his people to have better movement and to be a more agile quarterback. And I think that he's done that. He's done a really good job. You give credit where it's due, too. The twos in front of him have done a remarkable job keeping him in position to play quarterback and to throw the ball. No, I think he's looked absolutely great. And you know as well as anyone, when the bullets are live, everything changes. Having said that, I think he's a more confident quarterback, both with who he is as a quarterback and with the offense that now he's basically into his 3rd year with.
Cuts are a week from today.
Yep.
Quickly, in your best 10 to 15 seconds, how well has Sam Ehlinger played in games and in practice? Quickly.
I think good enough for Sean Payton to carry 3, although I think that is a question. Do you carry 2 or do you carry 3? Sean has shown that he likes to carry 3.
Okay, so you're saying he has been good enough to stay on this team, go to the practice squad. I would agree he's more than good enough to be on the practice squad. But the problem is you see all this depth all over the roster. Do you really want to keep an extra quarterback hoping he never plays as opposed to a guy who could make an impact?
No, you're right. It's a very fair question, and I am sure that it's one being discussed.
Yeah.
Does Sam Ehlinger pass waivers? Because I think that he likes Sam Ehlinger.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about picking up Sam Ehlinger for another team. You have to put him on your roster. You can't just pick him up and stash him.
That's exactly
he has to be on your 53.
Yeah. which means he needs to be a 2 on another team's roster. Not sure he's there. To me, that would be a risk worth taking if you had someone where the arguments are going to come in the running back room or in the defensive line, along the defensive line, or in special teams. Those are the 3 areas, I think, where you're looking for questions to be answered in terms of the roster. So if you've got one there that you're like really grinding over, and it's like, and I'll just throw it out. If you're debating on Ayume Wazirike, and maybe he's your, should he be my 6th inside guy defensively or my 7th? Do I want to carry 6? Is it 7? And is he the odd guy out? But you think, damn it, he does enough things that you think he could be a pretty good football player for you now or in the future. I mean, those are the hard decisions that they're going to have. And they are going to have hard decisions, but they're the good decisions to have, because all of a sudden now you've got guys at the back end of your roster that can play and can help you. And you'd much rather have that than getting rid of guys that basically are going to be on the street in the next 2 weeks.
Here's something to think about as we head into break. Stidham has looked as good as you can look for a backup quarterback. Ellinger has looked as good as you can look for a third-string quarterback. And, oh, by the way, for some reason, the Broncos cut him. There will be only 30 potential teams interested. The Broncos won't be one, because that'd be 31. And God help the Cleveland Browns if they are interested. I think they have enough quarterbacks.
Right.
With that, think about this going into break. For as good as the 2 backups have looked, and Nix has looked very good, is Nix really that good? Or is maybe the system that good? And Payton's that good at calling plays, and the talent around the quarterbacks are really that good, right? So is it the system that's making these guys look good, or are they just really that good all on their own? That's next.
Spice up your next night out at Nola Jane and Lodo. Authentic Cajun cuisine like andouille sausage gumbo with dirty rice, crawfish etouffee, as well as 6 different po' boys like soft-shell crab and shrimp. Come in before or after a game at Ball Arena. Host a party or party on their rooftop deck overlooking Market Street during happy hour from 11 a.m. to 5. Plus, Nola Jane caters, delivers, and the kitchen is open late night. Make Nola Jane your new favorite spot to eat, drink, and party like it's Mardi Gras.
Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos in Blackhawk have another incredible promotion. They'll be giving away a new Sea-Doo, 4-wheeler, or the cash award from the Big Wheel Spin, plus $7,500 in cash. The grand prize drawing is the weekend of August 16th, and get finalist entries every 45 minutes from 10 a.m. to midnight during their daily cash drawing, with a locked-up jackpot of $100 or more. Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos. Loose slots, great promotions, great food, and a family-owned casino that treats you like family.
Everyone has their favorite sports bar. Mine, the Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch in the DTC. Both locations are everything a sports bar should be. An upscale menu with 12 different burgers, outstanding wings, and my favorite, the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. They've got every game on the NFL Sunday Ticket, MLB Extra Innings, NHL Center Ice, NBA League Pass, plus soccer, rugby, and UFC. Sportsbook is a hangout bar or great for private parties. The Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch, the DTC, and coming soon to Parker. They are the sports bar.
Ever wondered where city and county fleet vehicles go when they retire? Now's your chance to find out and score big. Imagine driving away with a great deal on a reliable vehicle. For over 45 years, Roller Auction has been the trusted source for government fleet vehicles and equipment. Trucks, SUVs, sedans, and more, all selling to the highest bidder. Don't miss out. Visit roller.bid/hot takes to get auction updates today. Your next vehicle could be just a click away.
Everyone has their favorite barbecue spot. Mine, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew. My favorites, slowly smoked ribs, smoked corned beef Reuben, smoked meatloaf with a portobello balsamic cream sauce. Don't forget about Smokin' Dave's 16-hour smoked brisket and pork with one of their 4 homemade barbecue sauces. Great sides, you bet. Barbecue beans made with pork and brisket and their southern corned beef. Man, you got to try it. Plus, they have amazing non-barbecue entrees on the menu. Go where I go, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew in North Denver.
Ferguson's Heating and Cooling is the best in Denver, and their customers agree. Ferguson's has 165 5-star Google reviews, and here's one from Betsy. Highly professional, prompt, and honest. I switched to Ferguson's when I became aware my former company was trying to sell me a whole new system I didn't need. Ferguson's is an honest, working, family-owned business that'll give you a fair price, the highest quality parts and equipment, and they always show up on time. You can trust the Ferguson family like you trust your own family. Go to fergusonsheatingandcooling.com.
And welcome back. Hot Takes, Goodman and Haertl. Time now for What's Trending.
What's Trending is presented by Nola Jane in the heart of Lodo. No one does Cajun cuisine better than Nola Jane. Go see why their award-winning menu is the best in town.
Hope you're able to formulate your answer in, 3 minutes and 30 seconds after the commercial break. So I'll repose the question to you. Stidham has looked excellent in training camp and in the games. Ellinger, for a third-string quarterback, has looked very good as well. So we know what Nick's looks like. So is it these 3 guys are more than pretty good where they are slotted, or has Payton put together an offense? Do they have so much talent or enough talent on offense that, Nick's has the potential to be really, really good, but everybody is playing good. And I want to throw something else into the pot. Think about what these 2 backups have done against 2 other teams' backups, right? And then think about how, generally speaking, well they are playing in training camp against their own backups, which we have seen are more than pretty good and probably better than most other teams' backups on defense.
The system itself is conducive to good quarterback. Well, it's conducive to producing good quarterback play. Having said that, and Sean said this Saturday night, they've been very careful about having a vision for every player that they have brought onto this roster in terms of acquisition, draft, free agency, trades. It's always been done with a purpose, and the purpose is obviously to find the right fit. And I know everybody tries to do this on one level or another, but I think it's maniacal for Sean Payton and now George Payton. Payton and Payton are in lockstep with the vision that they have for this roster. And the key is to find the right people for a system that should theoretically produce very good quarterback play. Well, you still got to go produce good quarterback play by being a decent quarterback. So yes, the system is good. It was certainly good for people in New Orleans. I mean, you're going to have the Hall of Fame quarterback in Drew Brees that comes out of that system. And it's certainly a system that agrees extremely well with the 3 quarterbacks that we're talking about now. And even Zach Wilson was starting to figure it out, at times last year. And I mean, so you got to find the right guy. But yes, I think you do have the right system. And it's one that obviously Sean does have and should have a lot of confidence in.
Okay, well, and just for fun, we're only talking about the preseason.
Yep.
Right? We're only talking about training camp. So if you're looking to go back in time and say, well, what has, Sean Payton done with his backups? Well, I'll tell you what he's done with his backups.
Yeah.
He had Teddy Bridgewater for 9 games. We all remember him. Teddy Bridgewater completed 68% of his passes for nearly 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. The system works.
And he won 5 straight games to start.
Jameis Winston played well in Sean Payton's system. So clearly there is something to be said for Sean Payton's system and having talent around those quarterbacks who aren't necessarily going to be your starting quarterbacks. Moving over to the Broncos defense, dominated for the second straight week, specifically against the run. Again, I understand you're not game planning on offense for this Broncos defense. You're not showing everything, but then again, you're showing vanilla defenses as well. So these performances that we've seen, Broncos non-starters against the other team's non-starters, is it only preseason, or again, are you taking something more out of that?
Well, I mean, you're building confidence, and these guys are still lining up and playing and dominating. So
against the run specifically,
yeah, I mean, right. I mean, the Broncos ran for more yards rushing than Arizona produced in terms of total offense.
Right.
I mean, Arizona produced like 150 yards or 156 yards of total offense, or whatever the number is. It was paltry, absolutely nothing. So, yeah, I think that you don't, as always, you don't go overboard on results with exhibition games. Sean Payton has won 6 straight exhibition games in his last 3 years as a head coach of the Broncos. Is it because the Broncos have been so much better than who they've been playing? No, of course not. But it's part of the culture that he is trying to instill and build. Winning is important to Sean Payton, even if it's in an exhibition game.
Is it fair to say that when you win exhibition games, generally speaking, you are strictly winning with talent and not scheme? Because very rarely do you win, or very rarely do you go into a preseason game scheming for the other team. So here are my best guys. Those are your best guys. They'll go head to head. Let's see what they do against each other. But we're really not going to design a whole bunch of plays.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is.
So how would you feel if you're a Niners and a Cardinals fan right now?
I would be. Well, I think that they were really wondering about their 2s and 3s for Arizona as that game was going on.
Right.
There was a lot of like, oh my God, what do we not have here?
And let's be honest, it's all about the starters anyway.
Sure.
You're not going to be starting your second and third string guys.
Right.
But when it comes to depth, they've got a 53, or at least that's the way it looks to us, that can compete with anybody. The real question is, how good are their frontline guys? Because that's what's going to win games.
Yeah, no question. And we're going to see frontline guys for like 10 plays, maybe a couple of series in the game against New Orleans Saturday morning. And then it's for real. I think that they're well suited to go into the regular season. I do. I think by and large their camp was pretty good. Pretty good. I don't know about great, but I think that they've accomplished the things that they've wanted to do. They have knowledge about their depth. They have confidence in their depth moving forward. And now it's just a question of finishing up the pieces of the puzzle that they want to go in there with on special teams. Once they've got that taken care of, I think this team is going to be ready to go. And 2 very winnable games to start the season. 2 very winnable games.
Okay, so let's talk about their punting situation, which I know is not sexy. You can make the case that the rookie Jeremy Crawshaw didn't play particularly well, did not kick particularly well in the preseason opener against the San Francisco 49ers. I was thinking, you know what, if he has another bad game, they might consider bringing in some competition. Not because he's not talented, he's just not consistent. With what you saw, and it wasn't a huge sample size, but with what you saw with Crawshaw, should George or Sean be looking for punters on speed dial, or should they go another week?
Probably go another week and then see what they've got on waivers if they are not in a comfortable place. Crawshaw's first was 47 yards, but it was a line drive. His second kick was much more impressive. It was over 60 yards.
And there's your inconsistency right there.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Line drives turn into long line drives the other way when the guy catches the ball.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you want to 47 is fine if you're hanging it up there for a whole lot of time.
Right.
47 is not good if you're kicking it on a line drive. His 61-yarder into the end zone had really good hang time. It would have been nice to have buried it inside the 15, but you're only taking it out to the 20 on a touchback on a punt, so it's okay. He at least flipped the field. He's going to be a good kicker, but we're still saying he's going to be a good kicker. Right now, he's not a good kicker because what you want from your kicker is consistency. You when the guy goes out there, it's like, okay, flip the field for me, put it inside the 15, put it, give our defense a good place to start from, and you better be doing it. You're a punter. You have one job, punt. I think that he will do a good job with that, but from a standpoint of consistency, he's just not there yet.
I want to talk about another guy on defense, and that's Jahdae Barron. Played nickel and outside corner on the last series. We certainly don't have enough data to know how good this guy can be, but with what we are seeing, he certainly looks like he knows what he's doing out there. He is comfortable out there. What do you think 2-3 years from now is going to be the most valuable trait for the Broncos that Jahdae Barron brings to the table? Will it be his talent or his versatility? Did I stump the band?
No.
Did I stump the Bruce Haertl band?
No, because I've always got to be careful how I answer your questions, because you want one answer to be stronger than the other.
Pin this on. Bruce, don't pin this on me.
I think it's a talent. I think it's a talent thing.
Yeah.
I think it's but I'm not going to overlook his versatility. And then it's when you're talking about 2 or 3 years, who are they drafting? I mean, Jahdae Barron is a good example of what they did in the draft that probably surprised some people. But what's the adage? You can never have enough cornerbacks. Well, what do they continue to do with that room? My guess is in a couple of years, he will be his versatility is going to carry him through his first year or two, and the creativity which gives Vance Joseph to do his job, because he lined up as a hybrid a couple of times in the game on Saturday. He was a guy that was lined up a little bit more inside. He was active. He played sideline to sideline, and he was very active. I mean, I wrote him down 3 or 4 times, so I know that he was active. But it's a fair question. I think his versatility will probably typify his early career. His talent will begin to probably just take over and will enhance his versatility as he continues to go.
His versatility is going to get him on the field more often.
Right.
And then hopefully that talent blossoms. I don't know where you were before the start of training camp, so give me a quick answer.
Okay.
How many wins do you think the Broncos would have this season if I would have asked you before the start of training camp?
I would have probably been in the 9-10.
Okay.
10 range, and I'm probably still in the 10 range.
And that's where I was going to go with
that.
Has your view changed with what we've seen that maybe you give them an extra win? For me, I look at them as a 10-win team.
Yes.
Potentially 11 wins, low end 9 wins.
Yes, I would say that it's a tighter window this year. I would be disappointed if it was anything south of 9 wins. But you know what, Eric? The division's damn good.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I'm watching Austin Genty the other day before the Broncos game, and I'm thinking, okay, we already know they've got one of the best, arguably the best tight ends in the game. Now they've got this dude that is going to be at least in the discussion for the next few years, health, consistently, as one of the best running backs in the game. At some point, Pete Carroll will get his, he obviously likes Geno Smith enough to bring him in from Seattle, but if the Raiders are the weak link in this division,
yep,
the The division's damn good.
You can
Chargers are good. Chiefs are good. Broncos are good. And the Raiders aren't as bad as people think.
No knock on R.J. Harvey. And clearly, if the Broncos wanted Omari and Hampton, they could have had him.
Mm-hmm.
But you talk about Genty, and now let's talk about Hampton briefly, although we don't have a lot of time to talk about them. You could make the case that the top 2 running backs in the draft now play in the Broncos division.
Yeah, right. And you've added Pete Carroll as a coach in the division that already had Harbaugh, Payton, and Reed.
Right.
I mean, it's, a few years ago when we had the quarterback, the Fab Four quarterback thing with Russell Wilson coming in, and it's nothing compared to what it is now. Now you've got good defenses, good coaching, championship windows opening, quarterbacks that can all play on a high level. You've just got players all over the place. I mean, if you can go 4-2 in this division, and that's a big if for anyone, in my opinion. If you can go 4-2 in this division, you can win it.
You know what I would love to see? You know how there's like the Big Ten ACC challenge in basketball?
Yeah.
I would love to see a series, the AFC West against the NFC Central.
Well, I would too. I would too.
Yeah.
They kind of have that in their scheduling anyway. I mean, but I mean, to your point, you'd like to match up the 2 best divisions because it would be great theater.
Yeah.
Not like the NFL isn't great theater every week anyway, but your point is a good one. I think that we are entering an era in the AFC West, and who knows how long Andy Reid continues to hold the fort down in Kansas City. Harbaugh's on the come in LA with the Chargers. I think Pete Carroll, as long as he continues to coach with vitality.
Yeah, Rashawn Slater's out, though. Once again, the Chargers suffering major injuries.
Yeah, that does hurt them. There's no question. It's a huge hole on the offensive front. And their offensive front is good, but their depth isn't as good as, say, the Broncos have in their offensive front.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Hot Takes, Goodman and Haertl. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Make it the best possible day you can.